All right, guys, Matt here with the Exercise Blueprint. I am on workout number 2 of this mass gain phase right now. So again, if you're following along, trying to gain a half a pound a week. So I'm on what I hope is a 250 calorie surplus. And then hard training, we're going to do, this is the second workout. So I'm doing a push-pull split. So we're going to do pull tonight, a lot of vertical pulling, pull-ups, some hamstrings, and then some biceps to finish things off. We'll start with pull-ups. I've been warming up just with lat pull-downs just to kind of get things going instead of jumping right into pull-ups or wasting any energy on that setup there. Pretty well ready to go. Set number 1, we're off. Pull-ups felt good. 3 sets of pull-ups, 2 sets of 8, a set of 7. So I'll stay there for next week. Try to get 3 sets of 8 instead of bumping up to 9 or adding any kind of weight. Those felt good. You'll notice I'm really slow on the way down, and I stretch as much as I can when I get to the bottom of the pull-ups. I even you'll notice I kind of pull my head through just because it helps me just get that extra stretch on my lats. And then I look up at the ceiling and I pull up just kind of under my chin. No real extra points for pulling all the way to your collarbone or getting all the way to your chest. A lot of the hypertrophy happens on the pulling on the way up, on the negative on the way down, on the stretch at the bottom. But that bottom, or the bottom 2/3 where you're stretched, seems to be better than that top portion. I choose not to waste the energy. If I pull all the way up to my collarbone or my chest, I'm going to get a couple less reps at least. So I go not quite as high. That way I get more reps where it counts on the way down and on the stretch. 3 sets of that. Now we'll go into lat pull downs, lightweight, same kind of style, slow on the way down and a big stretch at the bottom. But I just want to get a little bit of extra volume, a couple more sets. So I end up with 5 sets of vertical pulling, but I'm not going to be able to do 5 sets of pull-ups tonight. This is kind of how I'm going to do this. Two sets of pull downs, so 5 sets of back so far. Now we're going to move into hamstrings. I just warmed them up with some dumbbell stiff legged good mornings, just really light, just to get a good stretch in my hamstrings and get my hamstrings and my calves warmed up. And now we're going to go into what I can best describe as a Smith machine braced dumbbell RDL. I've got the Smith machine set at a really high thigh height. When you set your feet underneath of it, don't just walk up to the bar. Once you touch the bar, then let your feet go a little farther forward. So you're going to have a very slight angle back from your heels, from your midfoot, going back up toward the bar just barely, and then kind of straight up. So when you come forward, it's going to put an incredible stretch on your hamstrings. As you come down, back straight, chest up nice and high, and then let your body come far forward. It's going to put a ton of stretch on your hamstrings, and the Smith machine bar is going to hold your body in place so you don't fall over. This takes almost no weight. I'm going to use a pair of 20-pound dumbbells. So 40 pounds, which for just a dumbbell RDL, that's nothing. I can typically handle 80-pound dumbbells for a dumbbell RDL pretty easily. These do not take very much weight. Warm up with no weight at all. Get used to this movement. And then 10-pound dumbbells in each hand, okay? 15-pound dumbbells, like start really light and then work your way forward. I've really been enjoying that exercise lately. It's kind of fun because you don't have to handle or use very much weight, and you can get a really good hamstring workout. I tend to get really good results out of any kind of a curl, a lying leg curl, a seated leg curl, but I like to get a stretch style hamstring movement in at least once a week. I typically do either a barbell stiff-legged deadlift or a dumbbell stiff-legged deadlift, or sometimes I'll do stiff-legged deadlifts on my belt squat machine, which are great. But this mesocycle, I'm focusing on this exercise. It's something new, it's something different, and it's nice because I don't have to handle very much weight. And then I'll do some back extensions, and that's where I'll load those up, and that's where I'll get some of my back work in. Okay, so the 2 sets of the braced dumbbell RDLs, then I went into a back extension for 2 sets here. Put a little bit of weight on my erectors, work just kind of, the big muscles that go up and down your spine, work that, and then get more of a stretch on my hamstrings and some contraction glutes on the way up. So this should finish it off. We're getting really good stretches on my hamstrings. We did a lot of vertical pulling, so this gets in a little bit of kind of erector work for my back for today. And then when we come back to our next pull workout or next back workout, we'll do more horizontal pulling for some thickness. 2 sets of these, and then we'll go into some biceps. So Bayesian curls, they're incredible. We talk about wanting to get a big loaded stretch on any exercise you do, getting that lengthened position, and then something that can add tension in that position. And a lot of your bicep exercises, gravity provides the weight, and once you get down to that stretch position, there's no resistance pulling against that. These, because we're using a cable and we're standing away from the machine, the arm gets pulled back behind, and so it puts a big stretch on your biceps. You can really milk that stretch on the way down, and then bring up as high as you can, and then slow on the way down and get that stretch. If you have a tower where you can set the handles to kind of wherever you want, set them so that they are right about where palm height is instead of all the way down. If you don't have that option, just choose a low one, go. You can do them single arm at a time, double arm at a time. Sometimes some call these waiters curls, because what they'll do is as they curl up, they'll bend forward. The reason for bending forward is to get a good contraction on the biceps and not let the cable come across your forearm and your elbow. And so sometimes if you're especially single arm movement, that cable can get in the way. So by leaning forward, it kind of pulls you into a position where that doesn't happen. I like doing them 2 arms at a time, because then I don't have to go from one to the next. So it cuts the amount of work that I'm doing in half, or the amount of time, I guess, that I'm saving. Do your right arm, rest a minute, do your left arm, rest, come back. It ends up being 4 sets instead of 2, potentially. So it also puts you in the middle, so the cables kind of come from the outside, so I don't have to bend forward because I don't have to worry about that. The stretch on these, get a good stretch on the way down. Don't squeeze and contract at the top, because again, that's wasted energy. I'm not looking to get that like big, strong peak contraction and hold that. If you end up losing a rep or 2, because on every single rep you're doing that, then you're going to get better benefit out of getting the stretch and having those slow eccentrics. Slow on the way down, pause at the bottom, get a big stretch, and then come out of that at the top and go right back down. That's it for tonight. Following along, we did 5 sets of back, so 3 sets of pull-ups, 2 sets of pull-downs. We went into some machine braced RDLs, 2 sets of those, followed by 2 sets of back extensions, and then finished up with 2 sets of Bayesian curls. So with the 5 sets of back, figuring about a half a set for biceps from those. So 5 sets, 2.5, another 2. So we're figuring 4 to 5 sets for biceps tonight. It's 10:38 right now, and I got to get up at about 5:30. So this is when I train, because I don't miss family times. So that's all right. I still came in, pushed hard, got my sets in. Some nights are like that. So not the best one, but the work's done. I will rest tomorrow. I'll come back with a push workout in 2 days, and then we'll have another pull workout. So we'll see how I feel after this one, and we'll go from there. If you watched this all the way through, if you're following along with me, let me know if you like this format. So get after it. Have a great workout.